Hello and welcome to my AEW The Holiday Bash review. Now AEW is a little bit different tonight. That AEW started later on tonight due to the NBA games being back on TNT tonight. AEW had to be moved to a later time slot. Honestly, as soon as NXT ended tonight, I ended up turning to TNT, and the show had already started from that point on. I actually thought it wasn't going to start yet. It depended how long the NBA game was going to go. But by the time I turned the channel, the Holiday Bash ended up starting an hour later. So yes, we did have different time slots for wrestling tonight in this whole thing. But since it started at least like about, at least about 9:05, 6, the show started and whatnot. Let's like this. When I turned to the show, basically Jericho and MJF were already making their entrance, which, I know it's taped, and I already know about the whole Jericho having the crowd kind of sing his song like 2 times in a row because they don't do it live. So if it's taped, they'll make it where they can sing 2 times in a row now. They went against Top Flight, Darius and Dante Martin. Very good match, I will say, to kick off the show, even though I kind of felt like there was some miscued spots or whatnot. I don't know if all that's blamed on Jericho and whatnot, but I'm sure the argument is going to go as Jericho in shape this week and that, but this wasn't a bad match, though, I'll say. It did end up with Jericho and MJF getting the win after MJF hit the Heat Seeker onto I think it was Darius Martin out there to get the win and whatnot. So it wasn't a bad match, I will say. Just a couple of few spots where it was either kind of missed or kind of waiting on some spots and whatnot. But then right after they had celebrated, Jake Hager got on the microphone in, basically said he had something to get off his chest. That everybody in the inner circle has been winning, except for Wardlow, because Wardlow had to apparently take care of some family business last week. That's kind of what they said, because they had to take out, Brandon Cutler for being a bitch on the internet talking about JR and whatnot. Basically, he didn't like how Wardlow was not showing up. And, Hager says he's an asset, but he's also an asshole and whatnot. And that him and Wardlow don't see eye to eye. So he talked to Tony Khan, and next week he wants a match against Wardlow. And we're going to settle this in the ring. So, yeah, Hager versus Wardlow next week. We'll see where that goes, okay? Also, we did have a music video from the Acclaimed called Buck Hunt. Basically talking about the Young Bucks, which I will say they had some decent bars out there this week, especially saying something about Meltzer and the Bucks and, 5-star matches and whatnot. It was actually pretty decent. I don't know if that was the full video, but that actually wasn't bad. But as they went through the full card tonight, next on the show, Tony Schiavone was out here to interview Sting again. Of course, Sting comes out with his Snow and Winter is Coming. I still don't know what Snow has to do with Sting. My other friend does not like his theme song because he did get some Game of Thrones stuff. But Sting came out, basically said it's good to be back on TNT. He's back here in the jungle. He built the original jungle around here on TNT, and he's happy to be a part of it right now. As Tony Schiavone says, why are you here? Darby Allin was up in the rafters again and whatnot, which he did point him out. Sting talked about Dusty Rhodes then, baby, do an impression of him, talk about, I just wear some color, wear some tights, gonna be working with Ric Flair out there, gonna be funky like a monkey, baby. I cannot do a good Dusty Rhodes impression. Open the paint window, baby. I cannot do a good Dusty Rhodes, but Sting did a really good one. There's a lot of people that can do good Dusty Rhodes impressions, though. Don't do shit you ain't supposed to do. I'm done. But he talked about Cody, Dusty's son and whatnot, and he was leading the charge in AEW, and he wanted to be a part of it. And he was going to talk about Darby Allin next, but before he could even say anything about him, Taz came out and saying, bring tear to his glass eye, but he's known Sting for years, and all Sting knows about is Sting, and he's tired of, Tony Khan building him up. As Ricky Starks says, you're going to get hurt playing this jungle, okay? You keep playing around and whatnot. Because now you want to keep taking out our business. Now you are our business, basically. And Taz says, I got 4 young, hungry rats that want to come out there and kick your ass right now. But the lights went out. Next thing you know, Darby has his skateboard. Sting has his baseball bat. Which Taz says, we're going to take the high road and fight for another day. And Darby, you have to get ready for that title match. Cage wanted to do it right now, but they held him back for the title match for the TNT belt next week. Obviously, I don't think it was the same segment we've seen in the past couple weeks. At least there was promos back and forth between Taz this time and Sting didn't respond, but Taz was the response to it, because what we've seen is Sting come out, Sting point or look with his baseball bat, and Team Taz would end up just backing off and fighting another day, which in a way we kind of saw the same thing tonight 3 weeks in a row. So they still don't really know why Sting is here or why he is here. I still think he's either going to be facing Darby Allin at one point or Cody or something, or something that has to do with that TNT title. So I still think that's going to be happening at one point. So it's like Sting will talk about, hey, let's go, I remember this and that, and why am I here? And then Taz comes out and interrupts. So sooner or later, Sting it's going to wrestle or something that's gonna happen. Okay. Next they went to MJF, which this was actually some heavy stuff. I don't know where this was going, but this is actually some heavy shit that happened. And MJF comes in and he talks about Santana, and he heard what happened to him because Santana didn't show up on TV for a few weeks, which he did put out himself that his stepfather passed away. And MJF talked about how he recently lost his grandfather to cancer, whatnot, and he said, it's hard, but he said he's here for him. Santana basically looked at him, got up, and he said, keep your head up, and just gave him a hug and whatnot. So very interesting to where they were going, especially some legitimate real life tragedies and whatnot. And Ortiz, he shook his hand, he walked off. So interesting segment to where that's going. Next, a match. Why is this on my TV? The Dark Order versus the Jurassic Express. I'm not saying all these guys suck, but I think you already know who the main ones are going to bury. Basically, it was Colt Cabana. I swear to God, I didn't even know if Colt Cabana was still in this group and that. 5-10 versus Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt Growth out there. I don't know. I'm surprised this match went on this long. Like I said, the Jungle Express won, and whatnot. Jungle Boy got the pinfall, and before they could talk to the Jungle Express, FTR showed up, and Tully Blanchard started talking, calling him Jurassic Park. And you guys want to think you can make a name for yourselves by our expense. So we're going to give you 2 weeks to prepare, okay? We are challenging you to a match, all right? Because right now we're on a request to gain those tag team championships. And we're not going to allow some dinosaurs to get in the way one bit. So you be ready in the next 2 weeks. And he told Marco there, listen, if you get involved, I may have a flashback to the 80s if you get involved in my match, okay? So, hey, man, we could say, Tully Blanchard, the old Tully Blanchard, for the Four Horsemen. We may be seeing that one again if necessary, Tully Blanchard and whatnot. If you're talking about some flashbacks from the 80s and whatnot. The match itself, like I said, I couldn't have really cared for the 6-man. It was just kind of whatever, spot fest, if you ask me. So, it's the Dark Order, okay? I don't really care, and I don't really give a crap about Stunt Growth out there too, alright? But next, Kenny Omega and Don Callis were, I guess, at a hotel, walking around and whatnot, and talk about Pac thinking he can control everything, and talked about Phoenix. And Phoenix has choked before. He's choked for opportunities for the AEW and AAA title, which he cannot win those matches. And Phoenix is injury prone and whatnot. And he told Cass, you guys don't even want to take him back to Impact or anything. And Cass said, no, we don't want him back over there. He's too fragile. And Conan may take him back to AAA and whatnot. And Kenny talked about he's not gonna get these titles or anything because Phoenix just collects injuries. I collect belts and whatnot. I swear, I don't know if this is true. I'm gonna have to go check out JPW. I'm already hearing people saying that Jay White took a shot at that whole belt collecting thing. I don't know how true that is, but I may need to look that up. Next though, Pac went against the Butcher, Eddie Kingston on commentary. I will say Eddie is great on commentary. Let me say that number one. Not a bad match though, I should say. We all knew Pac was winning. Pac getting the Black Arrow and whatnot. Basically picking up the win. I know Lance Archer ended up coming out, going towards Kingston, but he got behind the announce booth then. Like I said, Pac got the win. So, yes, he got the win right there and won the match. So, not bad. And like I said, Pac won with the Black Arrow. Not a bad match. Jade Cargill was in the back congratulating Brandy Rhodes on motherhood and whatnot. But now, since she's gone, that the division will be 100%, taken care of 110%. So basically now, I guess they're going to call out Cody. Basically, Jade Cargill has nothing to do because now she wants a suitable opponent because since Brandy is gone and won't be here for a while, I don't know where they're going to do with Jade Cargill right now. Or they got to throw somebody out there, I guess. So I'm assuming they will find some opponent because obviously this now changes the course of a lot of things now. So we'll see who they can find. Next, Miro and Kip Sabian were out there talking about the wedding date. It's a huge deal and whatnot for all the AEW fans at home. And it's going to be the most important date of their lives, and that Miro's the best man. But before they could say it, they were interrupted by the Best Friends music, which basically they started all laughing then as Trent was getting loaded into an ambulance then, taken away, and Miro and Sabian basically talked about they couldn't be there. So then they had the real wedding date, which is, I guess they're calling it the beach break on February 3rd. I don't care. Even JR said, what was JR said? It was like a train wreck or something. Dude, I don't care about this feud. I don't care about any of these two teams. Like I said, Miro, I don't know why they put him along with this jobber for. Like I said, the guy still comes out dressed like Frank Ocean. I'm not going to go into the whole expensive clothes thing. It's funny that, even he said at one point in the interview, Vince and him treated him bad. Like, dude, weren't you getting pushed for a number of years till you were in that cuck storyline and whatnot? With the whole Lashley thing and stuff. So I guess he wasn't treated that bad. This is not over. It's not good. I don't really care. Like I said, I think they botched Miro's whole run so far. So I'm just waiting for him just to get rid of Kip Sabian or something. I don't care about this wedding date or whatever at this point. I don't give a shit. This shit's just bad, okay? It's just really, really bad. I don't care. Evil Uno went against Dustin Rhodes. Dustin Rhodes won with a bulldog and whatnot. I don't know where this is going. It was like Dustin versus the Dark Order right now, which he's beating all these guys like left and right. Some people it's almost like Heyman, so he's kind of battling them also. He's not joining them or anything, but Dustin once again gets the win over the Dark Order. He beat Evil Uno, like I said, with a bulldog. I don't know if that's his new finisher or not. Stu Grayson came from behind and attacked him. Next thing you know, Lee Johnson came out for the save, but they took him out. Then the Apple guy himself, QT Apple right there, tried to come for the save, but that didn't work then. And next thing you know, Lee Johnson did like a big kick from the top. Springboarded and took out both Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, knocking him out of the ring then. So, probably a tag match next week. Tony Schiavone was interviewing Sean Spears. Sean Spears asked Tony, like, why'd you leave wrestling for the past 15 years? Tony Schiavone said he was burnt out, and Spears talked about when I left New York, basically the WWE, that's what we call it, WWE now, New York. He was looking for opportunity here, and it never came, and he's moved from different companies, but the glass ceiling is still the same, and talked about Tony Khan and EVP Cody, what they did to him, and he's better than 95% of the roster, and he can work anywhere. He's just as good as anyone in the gym with a microphone and whatnot. And Tony says, the problem, have you ever looked at the problem being you and whatnot, and getting the same results in different companies? And Spears has talked about how he doesn't need this, and I don't need to take this crap from you. Listen, I don't know where they're going with this work shoot with Sean Spears. Basically, all this stuff is true, okay? Because let's be honest, the guy hasn't done anything ever since he got to this damn company, other than that whole little chair shot thing they did with Cody until Cody beat him it all out last year. And that basically what killed him, okay? I don't know where this is going, but it's a work shoot. And people I know have said this. Everything he said is either what I've said before or other people I know have said before about Sean Spears, okay? He's not going anywhere. Everything he said was true, but why are we making this a work shoot now of why he can't go anywhere, okay? Listen, people thought he was going to be the next big thing in AEW. Yes, it's the guy that was doing like even I said before in the past, him doing the 10 gimmick is more over than what he's doing right now. I don't think he was over before with or without the crowd. He hasn't been over, and they've been putting him in a lot of stupid shit, okay? Or, I don't know. I don't know with Spears, okay? Because now it's like, oh, the company's holding me back. Like, dude, you said the WWE held you back. So how many people are going to keep holding you back? I don't get it. Or Some would say he hasn't done anything with the chances he's got. I don't know, man. The Spears thing, now it's a work shoot. I don't know. Okay, I honestly have no idea. Hikaru Shida was getting ready to wrestle opponent Alex Garcia until Discount Su Yung came in and attacked Abaddon. I don't know how many discounts I could say about Discount Su Yung, Discount Rosemary, Discount ECW Zombie, Discount Gangrel. I'm going to get into a second. I could go off what the internet said, and, fat edgelord bitch. But hey, that could be a possibility also. I don't care for this feud. And what Abaddon tried to attack Hikaru Shida, and then Shida beat Garcia, which, by the way, the women are still in the death spot, even in a different time spot. Hey, well, what time was it? 10:30 p.m. It's like on a regular night, it's 8:30 p.m. So 10:30 p.m. and they're still in the death spot for the women's division. Okay, I couldn't have cared about this match, and then they tried to have Abaddon come out and look at Shida and get involved, and Shida attacked her, and Shida still won her match with the Falcon Arrow. And then tried to come back with a kendo stick, but Abaddon, she tried to poke her. I guess Abaddon got like a zombie and then bit her neck, and there was blood everywhere. Obviously, it was a blood capsule and whatnot. You could see it in her hand. But why is she Gangrel now? Now it's Discount Gangrel. I don't care, okay? I didn't care about this feud. I don't need to see Discount Su Yung out here. They're just throwing bodies at Hikaru Shida because they really have no other opponents. Thank God they're doing a title match next week so they can get this out of the way for New Year's Bash or Dash or whatever they're calling. Yeah, New Year's Bash and whatnot. That card's pretty stacked for next week also too. But I don't care about this women's title match. All right, come on, man. What did Abaddon do to get a title shot? Who did she beat? I said this before. Who did she beat? They just threw her out there to throw her out there. She had one match on AEW. Somebody's going to tell her, they had to 5-10 wins on Dark. Okay, who the fuck did she beat? Okay, come on now. This is stupid. So I don't care. Shida will retain. I don't care. Okay, who gives a fuck? Or like I said, the women's division, like I said, is still probably one of the worst things on this show, and they're still in the death spot. Okay. In the main event, though, we got the Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed for the tag team titles. Listen, this was a good match. I like the Acclaimed in some ways. The bars aren't bad, even the beat they come out to. But let's be honest here. They were not going to win this match, okay? Even with the little boombox spot, they were never going to win this match. It wasn't bad, but it's like I've only seen these guys wrestle for one time on TV, and then they got a title shot already? Listen, the ranking system means shit. Let's just get that out the way right now. It means nothing, okay? Nothing. But, come on. We already knew who was going to win this. Basically, the Bucks won. They still retain the titles, BTE Trigger, and whatnot. But, like I said, I like the Acclaim. They got something to them. But I think this made no sense giving them a title shot after they've been on TV for 1 week. Like I said, just fuck the ranking system at this point. Obviously, it wasn't that much to talk on with AEW. Maybe a couple parts here and there. But given that this was a later time slot, I know it's the Holiday Bash show. I have no idea what they're doing with that Christmas story type of thing they're trying to remake after seeing the clips. Why are they doing this again? Hey, promotion for TNT, I guess. But listen, there wasn't a lot to talk about on this show. Maybe next week it'll be and whatnot. But given, like I said, they were moved back on time. It's the holidays and everything, so I don't know, okay? But other than that, though, that's my review of AEW Holiday Bash tonight, okay? So other than that, I'm out of here. See you guys later. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Like I said, end of the year review is coming. I got a lot to talk about, and trust me, I'm working on my notes for that too. So I got a few more days before we start recording, okay? But other than that, though, I'm out. See you guys later. Peace. Happy holidays on whatever you celebrate out there. I'm gone. Peace.